Hey, what's going on? It's cool that you're here. This is Nate from Minimalist CEO. And in this video, we're going to talk about the best product method. So I'm going to be taking you through the process right here on the board behind me and just really dive right into something that can, it's like a root cause method. I'm going to call it a root cause method. It's a way to get right down to the root cause of some of the biggest challenges that we'll ever have in business. So feeling like our product is good enough. So if you become best in market, obviously we've crossed that off the list. Not having enough clients or enough leads. Well, if you have the best product in the market, that gets you on your way. It simplifies things. Not getting paid what you're worth. So when you have the best product, you'll start getting paid premium prices, which is a big part of business. Most business owners aren't paid what they're worth, although some businesses, they don't bring the best results to their clients. So that's got to be a huge priority in business, is getting your clients the best results. And if there's one essential thing in any business, it's to have a relentless focus on matching up the problems that you solve, the way that you solve those problems, with getting clients the best results. So in this video, we're going to really drill down, how can you get the huge advantage of having a best in market product? Now, what tends to happen in small businesses, and actually every business, is a focus on shiny things and a focus on new gimmicks and new marketing ideas. That's one of the big things that happens when you're not getting enough revenue. It's like, let's go after marketing, let's go after sales. But that's sort of dealing with symptoms. And what we're talking about here is, again, getting down to foundational steps. Building a business that has huge integrity and that's just really relentlessly focused on helping people. And by mapping that out and looking at what that actually means, you'll change the face of your business, you'll reduce your overhead, you'll start getting paid a lot more. When I made that shift, I went from what I made every year annually to making the same amount every month, so that I made every year. It was just a huge shift for me. And this was one of the formulas that I used. I really had to think through, well, what did I do? Well, how did it work? And I can tell you, I was a marketing firm, and a good example of having a best in market product is understanding the secret result that your clients want. So there's what the marketplace tells you they want. And in my business, if you look back in between 91 and say 2001, there was this big rush for website design. And my marketing firm, we had a whole division that was completely focused on building and designing websites. And I would say probably from maybe 96 to maybe, I'd say like 98 or 99, it was all about design. It was all about, looking good, having cool video, using Flash, and having beautiful photos. All things that can be very important, although Flash, obviously, these days is almost universally obsolete. But I don't know anyone who uses that now. But at the time, it was a big deal. It was flashy. And I use that as an example because shiny thing disease, it's things that are moving, things that make you think, oh, this is the God answer. This is like the big thing. And it helps, seeing those new ideas, it helps you shift your mind away from the problems you're having in your business. But what it doesn't do, it doesn't make you the best in the market. And what I found was my clients in the marketplace really didn't just want website design. What they wanted was, and they were telling me they wanted website design, but what they really wanted was they wanted new clients. And they wanted to be seen as credible, and they wanted to be seen as valuable, and they wanted to be seen as the best. And what happened is this super high focus on the website design became there was this huge promise to deliver to this client a great website design, but in their mind, there was something else going on. They really wanted the secret result, which was, in their case, they wanted more clients, more credibility, to be seen as professional, to be accessible, and other things like that. So by knowing that, I was able to shift the way I delivered the business, and I'm going to talk about how I did that today. And again, I'll try to keep this video relatively short. I'm going to get right to the points, the steps that you go through, so you can go do this too. But by shifting my mindset down to that secret result, so learning a way to hear what the client's asking for, but then to dig down a little deeper and find that secret result, was incredibly valuable. Because by focusing on helping the client get my client get more clients and get the secret result that they wanted, I was getting paid more for the ability to get them that result and get them more clients at the time than I would ever get paid for a website. And it also helped clients to keep coming back and want to work with me more. So I also felt a lot better about the business I was building, because there's nothing worse than getting through a project. I would get done building these beautiful websites or a brochure or whatever I was doing, finishing a trade show display or all these marketing projects, and the client didn't get the result. And so they'd be like, hey, listen, this isn't really, we didn't really hit our goals for this project. And it was tough for me, because I was like, well, we did everything you ordered, everything that you requested, everything you asked for. We did everything that everyone else is doing, and we made it look even better and flashier and cooler. And we checked off all these boxes, but the box we didn't check off is really knowing the outcome that they wanted. And of course, when we figured that out, there's a formula that we followed. So I was able to then tell clients how I could help them get more clients, get more business, be seen as more credible, build their authority in the marketplace. And again, that was back in the days of my marketing firm, and I've had several companies since then, but it was a huge shift for me to get to the secret result. So let me put this down real quick so you get a better understanding of how this whole thing works. The first thing is you have what the client tells you. All right. I'm going to actually spell that right out. The client tells you something that they want. The next thing that you have is you have your product. Now, anyone in business will see, this makes sense. You've got, the client's going to tell you what they want. You're going to be in the business that you're in, and you're going to build, whether it's custom cabinets or, coaching, business coaching, or maybe mentoring, or maybe you're a healthcare provider or a dentist. You have your product, and then you have what you believe your client is telling you that they want. They sign up for a cleaning for their child. They come down to a pediatric dentist. They're expecting their child's teeth to be cleaned. Certain steps in the process are going to happen. Maybe sometimes there'll be x-rays, things like that. And then there's the down here, and this is the magic piece. This is the secret result. Right? And I want to break this down for you in a really fun and powerful way. So when you look at what they tell you, you're gonna have this little thing that happens between what the client tells you and your product, and you're going to spend a lot of time, I think you've probably seen this, talking about features and benefits and the price and how long it's going to take to deliver. So let's look at that. You've got, between what the client tells you and your product, which is more where most businesses live, you've got features, and you've got benefits, and you've got price, and you've got timing, right? All many factors that they're thinking about. They're probably at this point, when when they're looking at you and talking to you about what they want, they're comparing you to other people who have what they perceive to be the same product that you have. So they're going to come to you. This client who's talking to you is going to come to you very much like an expert, because they can go on Google, they can do their own internet research, they can look at other competitors, they can even get quotes and bids. So between what the client tells you and your product, you become very much a quote to them. And maybe some of the things with regard to what you can learn about selling, building rapport and identifying what the desires and wants and needs are of the client. You can go through that process, the selling process, and you can focus on the features and benefits. You can identify objections, and then the objections, of course, would be based on certain features, benefits, price, and timing. That's usually what it comes down to. And sometimes one thing that will come up between what they tell you and your product is also they're going to talk to you about a level of authentic quality. So I'm going to give a really cool example about this in a minute, but when someone talks to you about quality and they talk to you about price and they say, here's what I've learned, here's what I'm willing to pay, here's the features and benefits that I want, here's when I'd like you to do it, there's a tendency to make statements that aren't exactly what they mean to say to you, right? They'll tell you this is what I'm willing to pay and this is what I want, but then you can ask questions like, what does quality mean? And what exactly does authentic mean? And what is the experience that you want? So I think what what's helpful in this is just take you through an example. So suppose this is from a client of mine who we've worked with, and they now know the secret result. And the secret result down here, this is the magic bullet. There really is, I don't want to say magic bullet, it's a magic formula. It actually gets you away from the magic bullet. It's a magic system. It's a powerful system, and it combines listening and research and asking questions. So asking your client questions, finding out what they really mean, and I'm going to show you what I mean. So picture a cabinet maker, a custom cabinet maker, and someone comes in and says, okay, I want to get custom cabinets, and I want to have authentic hardwood, and I want to have it be cherry, and I want it this many square feet, this many cabinets, drawers. And if you look online, you can see so many providers all around the country of custom cabinets, authentic custom cabinets. But what you'll find is they have these design centers, whether it's at a Home Depot or it's a custom cabinet shop, where they'll show you, here's all the examples of the custom cabinets that we've made. Then what they'll move into is they'll move into things like styles, and they'll show you certain moldings, certain mounting kits, certain hardware, certain drawer pulls, different quality hardware that does, maybe the drawer closes quietly or it doesn't. Maybe there's different interior wood and exterior wood. Maybe there's different composites. So there's all these factors that come in. But then once you're done the conversation, you start to notice something. And it doesn't matter what business you're in. You want to note this down. You want to ask, what exactly, if anything, is custom? If a cabinet maker's been making cabinets, like my client has for over 25 years, is anything really custom anymore? Maybe there'll be a funky size or a funky shape, but overall, hasn't that cabinet maker seen almost everything on average? And they're going to show examples of what they've done, and then the person who they work with is going to pick a mishmash of what that cabinet maker has done in the past to help them get the vision of what they might be able to have in their kitchen. So if it's kitchen cabinets, we'll focus on kitchens. They also do bathroom stuff. So you've got this experience of the client tells you, and there's, okay, I want to have an authentic kitchen cabinet. I want it to be custom. I want it to be real wood. But then we start asking more questions, and we start to say, well, what's the secret result that the client really wants? And you start to peel back the layers. Now, one of the big things that happens is over here between what the client tells you and the secret result. If you understand the secret result, there's actually a feeling and an increase in desire when you know the secret result. So in the case of the cabinet, the custom cabinet experience, you start to ask someone more and more questions. Here's what you start to hear. Incorporated into the secret result, there's going to be a story. They're going to tell you what kind of experiences they want to have with these custom cabinets in the kitchen. And they're going to start to introduce things, playing mental movies, right? They're going to start sharing pictures that they're having in their mind. And what you want to do when you're dealing with this best in market method, this best product method, is you want to start asking questions that incorporate in relationships. Now, in the case of the secret result is always a better experience. They're looking for a better experience. They're looking for a certain feeling. They're looking for it to be involved with family, friends, or clients. They're looking for it to be involved with other people. They're getting their core values involved. So the secret result incorporates core values. It incorporates the story, the mental movies. It also starts to get the heart involved, right? Becomes an emotional. When we say feeling, the secret result, between what they tell you and the secret result, there's an emotional experience happening. Now, here's what's interesting. Between your product and the secret result, that's where the best happens. So if you can find out what the story is that they're telling themselves and what relationships are involved and what experiences they'll have with this result, In the case of the cabinet experience, we talk to people who are in the business of cabinet making. We talk to our clients. We talk to their clients. And here's what we started to find. People will spend anywhere from $20,000 for custom cabinet solutions in their kitchen up to well over $150,000, sometimes even more, to get this features, benefits, price, timing, and quality that's in their mind. But as soon as we started asking about the secret result, we discovered something really amazing. The example of the best was based on stuff that didn't have as much to do with the product as it did with the experience and the feeling that they had, the outcomes they had once the product was in place. So I'm going to put a couple things down. You might see me glancing over here a little bit. I've put extra notes and extra examples, and I've gone through this case study. I've spent some time talking with our client, researching their market, and that's what I'm sharing with you. So what happens when you have the best, all right? When you create the best product, you now end up with this magical little factor called the peripheral wow. And it's crazy. I wrote a bunch of ideas down. So we've got, we started seeing that when these cabinets were in place, these people were, they were talking about plants in their home, high-end plants. So let's look at some of the high-end, some of the peripheral wow. They were talking to people who had high-end plants and care services, or they were talking about bringing more life into their home. They were talking about having guests and friends over, right? They were talking about planning and experiences that they wanted to have. They were talking about themes. So they were talking about travel and themes. They were talking about cooking. They're talking about fine wine or wine in general and entertaining. They started talking about cleaning services, ironically enough, and they talked about now that this is in place, we're going to keep the house meticulous. We want to make a great impression. And as we talked about this, we found that the clients were sharing stories about the experiences they wanted to have in their kitchen. We also found out that, and this is just one of the paths, we learned a bunch of secret results, but there's this huge group that just wanted to have an awesome experience, and they were picturing themselves in this kitchen. And so it gave us an opportunity. Oh, another thing they pictured. So, I'll go into that in more detail. But they were talking about experiences. They were talking about experiences. So when you connect the product that you have with the secret result, you're now able to do something really interesting. You become fascinated with the outcomes and the experience, all these experiences that your client wants. And it's really great to find out what people are going to be involved, what's going to change. When we have a best product, the best way to find out if it's the best product is how many people are buying it. How happy are they with the results that they're getting? I mean, if you're going to create the best result, your business is going to start to grow. By going through this process, which is one of just a handful of, actually from 5 shifts that you can make in your business to become a minimalist business, by going through this process of creating the best product method in your business, we found that businesses, our cabinet maker company, he's reduced his overhead. He's been able to increase the flow of clients, and he's starting to be able to pay himself more. He also doesn't have to do a lot of the work. So he's reduced his stress, he's reduced his overwhelm, and he's on track for this amazing growth in revenue that's already starting. He already has a growing list of clients who are benefiting from a whole new list of services. But let me tell you what happens. So I want you to picture this. When you create your peripheral wow in your business, what you're doing is, instead of looking at your core product as the only place where you build your business, instead of saying, okay, I've got a product, so therefore I have to work on the features, the benefits, the price, the timing, and the quality, and get good quotes out and get a good sales team and get good marketing. You start to go outside of your business and get massive leverage. And leverage comes from looking at other businesses, other products, other services that are also the best. And you get those products and services in alignment with the stuff that your client wants, the stuff that your audience wants. So I could give you tons of examples, but I want to stay super focused right now on this cabinet maker. So picture this. If you were able to do what this cabinet maker did, what would you do with your business? One thing that this cabinet maker is now doing is offering kitchen theme experiences. He's actually shifting the feeling of people's kitchens by creating themed kitchen changes. So it's not just renovation, it's not just increasing the value of your kitchen that we've all heard about, and it's certainly not just custom cabinets. He's bringing the experience home, and you can select from a series of experiences. And what he's done in this peripheral wow is he's reached outside his business and he's working with cookbook providers. He's creating Italian theme packages, French cuisine packages, cooking lessons. What else do we have? Private chef services and appliances. So companies who come in and put the appliances in. And obviously there's other stuff like painting and hardware and refacing services. What we've been able to do is really map out a whole new best in market product and find out how we can create our own category. So if you can create kitchen themes, kitchen experiences as a cabinet maker, what happens to your position in the marketplace? If you can give someone the opportunity to have the people around them, the experiences they want, then you get to ask amazing questions and you become the best in the market. And here's what happened with this guy. So he was able to go out and build relationships to find a bunch of information from cookbook providers, antique book providers, themed decorations and staging companies, interior design companies, architect companies, and introduce some of their services into his product where it costs him nothing, but creates win-win strategic partnerships with these other companies. He's working with a company that provides wine racks and wine memberships that can be included in the first 1 to 5 years of having their kitchen redone. But the other thing is he actually, instead of having to do custom cabinets, which he still does, he's been able to work with very specialized strategic partners who reface the cabinets in laminate and hardwood, new hardware. They come in and they help create a whole new design and theme for the kitchen. And then the books that match the theme come in, the prints that match the theme come in. And instead of getting the average of $2,500 to $4,000 for a project, he's actually able to do a project for $10,000, $12,000. And here's what's interesting. When we go back to the people who've gotten custom cabinets, and we ask them the questions about features, benefits, price, timing, and quality, and they say, we really wanted authentic hardwood. We said, okay, if we look at what you want for your best product, for what you want for your kitchen cabinets, are you willing to pay for the absolute premium cherry wood that's hardwood throughout, or do you want the feeling that your cabinet is quality? If we can create the feeling of quality, we can create the textures, we can create the colors, and we can create the theme that you want, and you don't have to pay the price that might be $50,000, $60,000 for all these custom cabinets in your house, or even if it's $20,000 or $30,000, even if it's $15,000 or $20,000, do you have to have authentic, or can we create the authentic experience? I call it the Disney effect. So we found out that by creating the Disney effect, now if you know, I call it the Disney effect because if you've ever gone to Disney, whether it's Epcot Center or the Magic Kingdom, you find out there's a lot of design elements and decorative elements that look like they're real rocks, or they look like they're real palm trees, or they look like they're real lagoons, but they're all manufactured. They're all created to give you that authentic experience, but it's not all real palm trees. And you find that if people can have the experience of it looks like and feels like, and even everything about it gives you the experience and the theme that you want, people could save when it comes to, the cabinet experience. They can save tens of thousands of dollars. And in the process, we can ramp up the value of their secret result. In this case, give them the feeling that they're in France, that they're in Italy, that they're at a winery, that they're on a movie set. We can do amazing things around what's most important to the people who want to sit in and experience that kitchen. And we're also able to do it in a way that creates a win-win for all the other providers. So we're able to get some of their products and services at a discount by driving new business. Every time that package happens, those people deliver, including the cabinet refacing, which, by the way, is able to reduce the cabinet maker's overhead by more than 50% for those projects, and he gets to say yes, and he gets clients to say yes to a project where maybe they would have spent $50,000 or $60,000 on custom cabinets. Now they're only spending, 15, sometimes 12, sometimes even only $7,000 for a new kitchen theme, and there's different packages. So this is just an example of when you take the time to discover the secret result and you go outside of your product, you can create a peripheral wow by creating a category. So if you're in the business of kitchen cabinets, you're going to be compared to everybody else. But if you want to stop being compared, reduce your overhead, increase the results that your clients want. Now what we're finding, a lot of people want to have kitchen experiences. It increases their desire, it gets them vivid stories and mental movies, and it makes them really excited to work with our client. So if you could go out and get a kitchen experience, all right? You go out and get a kitchen experience that gives you the sense that you're there, that it's authentic, but you can do it for a fraction of the price, and you can have fun getting the client that result. Then they don't necessarily have to pay a premium for granite countertops and very expensive imported tile. Now, I'm not saying that some clients won't want that. For some people, authentic means authentic. But the key is to decide, how do you want to create your cash flow? How do you want to give the feeling, the secret result to your client? How do you want to become the best? You can apply this to almost any business, and I'll give you a couple more examples before we wrap up. So if you use the best product method, let's look at the example I shared with you before. If you want to, I'll give you a new example. And so I'll give you two examples. The first example would be if you're talking about the website design business over the period of about a decade, about 96 to 2006, everyone was talking about design, and then it became getting you new clients. So the client comes in and says, we want a new website. They've had their committee meeting, their marketing team, and they've said, we need a new website. And in the mind, they've projected a result. So they have a secret result of getting more clients who see them as credible, who feel well educated, and who are prepared to work with this professional company because an amazing impression has been made. However, the client just said they want a website. They want it to look beautiful, and they'll even tell you, want videos on there, but they didn't tell you what was going to be in it. That was just a real big problem in the industry. And if you've been around long enough in the marketing world, a lot of people spent hundreds, sometimes just tens of thousands, sometimes just thousands of dollars, but they ended up with a website that wasn't getting them new clients, and they weren't happy about it. So the result of getting the client, the best results wasn't happening. So what happens is, the features, benefits, and price were all based on how many videos, how many photos, how much copywriting, not getting the clients, creating the experience, increasing the credibility. And eventually that started to come together in early 2000s, but it hadn't happened so well prior to that. So then what happens is this feeling, this story, that's the secret result that the client wanted. They saw clients going to their site. They pictured them watching videos. They pictured what every business owner wants, which is someone learning their story and feeling connected. Now, I don't know what business you're in, but that's an awesome feeling when someone believes they know who you are and they believe they understand, you believe that they understand, how you can really serve them. There's nothing worse than that feeling in the elevator, right? When someone's like, hey, what do you do? And you tell them, and like, oh, my cousin does that, my uncle does that. Well, obviously there's a secret result, a secret desire that your website's gonna help them understand what makes you unique, what makes you different, what makes you special. And then it's gonna get you the client, get you, not just having you, stand out, right? But actually getting you chosen, having someone say that person has the values and is in alignment with who I am. So you get the mental movie. Your secret result is that feeling, that increased desire, that story, the potential for new relationships. And then when you look at that, you say, okay, well, how am I going to get my product to fulfill that secret desire? And that's where you introduce becoming the best. So the action you take, you become the best by identifying peripheral wow. So what we started to do in my practice is we started to work with business intelligence firms. We worked with people from Wharton, and I still work with them today, people from the business school, MIT research team, Harvard research team, Stanford, other people around the country who were specialists in business intelligence, downloading IBIS reports and other financial data, industry data, marketplace data. We found out how to look ahead of the curve, and we were able to team up and start to work with our clients to help them understand how to bring even more valuable products to market and how to present those products in a way where not only the website, but their overall messaging and the direction of the company was stronger, was increasing desire, and was creating more demand. And then the website just became one of the products. But then eventually, we started plugging in CEO mentoring and actually helping the leadership bring a vision to the marketplace that got them more clients. And we became in high demand by going through that process. We created Peripheral Wow because we didn't have a research team. So we worked with advanced research teams and created a win-win partnership. And it was super powerful. We also started working with some of the best designers in the world and started introducing website projects that we didn't have to build ourselves. So we started working with team members who became strategic partners. And we just became obsessed with finding out what was unique, what was special about a client. And we, for a time, that was a great way to be a leader in the industry. So then we also started creating the experiences. So we got into, okay, how is this website going to tell the client's story, and who do they want to be involved, and how are they going to come back and measure that we had achieved their result? And we did that by connecting again with a whole series of video specialists, audio specialists, researchers, and we started even plugging into some people who were experts at the psychology. At the time, we weren't doing a whole bunch of business coaching, but we started connecting with leadership performance strategies and things like that, and incorporating it into the way the messages were prepared on the websites. And we started getting all the business, tons of business, and became, at that time, an award-winning new media and website design company. So obviously, that's not what we are now. Right now, I'm a business mentor, and I help business owners reduce overhead and focus on what's essential in their business so they can get paid what they're worth and start earning more every month than they ever had before by being the best in the marketplace. So this is one way to do it. I think that's a really solid example. I'll just throw one more example out there. So a real challenge right now that I'm seeing and that we've noticed in our businesses, the number of coaches in the marketplace who are hiring lead development companies. And they, again, another company, that the perception, as I say, the myth is that coaches want more, they want to get better at marketing. And I think that that is a real serious myth, because coaches want to coach, and mentors want to mentor. They want to do their best work. And what I've found from talking to well over 100 coaches, asking them the question of, do you want to become a better marketer? And then they say yes, and I'd say, okay, do you want to learn how to do it yourself, or you just want to have someone who can do it for you? So I found out when I was working with them as a consultant, and I've worked with just about, so many industries, it's crazy, but just I'm using coaching and business coaching as an example. They would tell us, can you go out and could you develop leads? And I said, well, actually, we're not a lead development company, but what we can do is we can help you have the experience of getting more clients so you can focus on what you're good at. And part of the way that we do that is help you create strategic partnerships, understanding how to get the best results creators on your team so you don't end up spending a ton of money on marketing or learning marketing and waste a bunch of time, and then you find out the team you hired actually isn't going to get you the results. So how do you get proven results creators? And we found out their secret result is they wanted proven results creators to get them leads. They don't want to learn how to do marketing. They don't want to go through a training program to become better marketers. There's such a small percentage of people in the coaching business who actually want to do that. So if you're an expert, a trainer, a coach, maybe you're noticing that this is true. You don't want to become an expert at marketing. You want to have an expert team who's sending you so much business of the right kind of people who you can work with so you can focus on being a great coach. Because becoming a great marketer and being a great coach and being really good at doing videos or creating content, they're two very, very different things. And focusing on your one thing and being great at coaching, well, that's really what moves you forward. So having someone who knows how to streamline your business as a coach is far more important than going out and buying some shiny marketing education program, learning how to build sales funnels that you're never, ever going to become successful at, because that's not what you want to do. So what happens is we've actually created a solution in Inspire, my company, and our program called the Minimalist CEO, where we help in a virtual way. We work with business owners to help them, and our product is to help them streamline their business in a way where they're reducing overhead, focusing on what's essential, getting massive leverage, and making the 5 shifts that help the owner of the business increase their income to the point where they're making each month what they were making in a year. And to do that by reducing the stress and overwhelm on top of that, by focusing on what's essential. Also by plugging in world-class proven results creators. And a lot of times there's lead development, there's product development, there's research. But how do you get the right people, the right information so you can move it forward and make progress and not just be strung out, learning all this stuff for months or maybe a year and paying all these fees and not having the right strategic partners. So that's the product that we created, is becoming a minimalist CEO mentor. The secret result that our client wanted what they wanted was of course a feeling that their business is growing, that it's under control, they're getting new clients that they want, but mostly that they're working in a business that's working, that the right, the 5 core pieces, the 5 shifts in a minimalist business are always moving forward. So they have constant leverage, they're operating in integrity, and they're able to get their clients the very best results as a coach instead of constantly being pulled into fire drills and stuff in other parts of their business. So how do we become the best? Again, we've partnered with world-class research teams to help create the best products. In a lot of the ways to do that is you become premium. You start charging premium prices because you've gotten outside your business and your product model and you understand the secret result that your clients want. And then you put the people, the materials, and the systems in place. That's the 3 things that make up a business: people, material, and systems. You get those things in place in a way that's streamlined, in a way that's consistent, and then you constantly seek out leverage. And again, I could give you access to a little training we put together on this, and that's for a separate video, but I'll pop the link down below really soon. If you want that, just go ahead and type in a yes. But again, most business owners, and in the case of those coaches, they focus on the features, the benefits, the price, the timing, the quality, and there's all this promise making of getting more leads when really all they want to do is they want to see their business run so they can focus on being a coach and being a trainer and being an expert. So that's what we've done. We've built that solution in the Minimalist CEO, and so that coaches can be great coaches. So I hope this gives you some good insight. Again, back to basics. If client tells you what they want, and you look at, well, what's the going rate for what I'm doing? You might be looking at features, benefits, price, timing, and quality. And then you're locked into being compared to everyone else. But as soon as you know the secret result, and you're able to look behind the features and benefits and price and timing, and you get into the feeling, something amazing happens. And what I'd love you to do is just say, okay, what is my client telling me that they want? And what's the secret result that they want? And then say, okay, challenge yourself. How can I get outside of my business, my product or my service, and create some peripheral wow? How can you create a win-win? Make a list of all the potential products and other companies and possible strategic partners that would fulfill the top needs and wants and desires of your client. It doesn't have to be in your business. I mean, let's think about the cabinet maker. He's now working with plant watering companies. He's working with booksellers. He's working with chefs. He's working with interior designers, architects. He's working with wine membership companies. And we've got some pretty good ideas for some new ones that he's going to work with. It's going to give him huge exposure in a way that it's a win-win. So how could you get outside your business and just get your client the very best results? Because when you get your client the best results, your business starts to change completely. You don't have to do as much. You don't have to work as hard on all this extra stuff. You can just focus on doing what you're great at and becoming the best in the market. You don't have to wait. When someone else is great at getting results, when someone's exceptional at getting great results. I'll tell you this right now. We don't create all the lead development for our company. Even though we've got great team members for marketing lead development in the company, we work with some amazing strategic partners who we vetted out following a process of creating peripheral wow. So we're able to promise their exceptional ability to get our clients new clients and get us new clients, and we don't even have to be the ones who do it. Because what I love to do is I love to create material, training material that actually helps business owners reduce their overhead and stress by up to 90% and increase their earnings so they're earning what they're worth instead of being constantly distracted. So I hope this is helpful. I really appreciate the time that we spent together today in this video. I'm going to do another one soon. And be a minimalist in your business. Focus on what's essential. Get massive leverage and do it focused on getting your clients great results, and it changes the game.